Hello everybody and welcome back to another cinema discussion video. My name is Joker. I have a vanilla shake even though I specifically asked for chocolate, but don't mind that because Avengers Endgame is officially at $2 billion and nothing else in the world matters. That's right, we're wrapping up the second week of Avengers Endgame being in theaters and the box office numbers are absolutely ridiculous. As of right now, it is Sunday, May 5th, about 10 o'clock. The box office numbers haven't exactly updated at this point, but as of right now, it looks like Avengers Endgame is sitting at $2.188 billion worldwide, which means it is now the second highest grossing film of all time. It finally beat out Titanic, which is sitting at 2.187. So that .001 is what did it, and damn, that's incredible. And it's just got more money to make. It's only been in theaters for 2 weeks. It's got a long time to go before it finally finishes its debut and gets all the money it's gonna make. So real quick, I just kind of wanted to talk about some of the things I found interesting about these box office numbers. I know I mentioned I wanted to check the status and see how much everything dropped off, but surprisingly, some of the stuff I was thinking that would actually drop once Avengers Endgame actually came out, it actually spiked up, and I was kind of surprised by it, because when it had its Thursday night preview, not much really changed. I don't know what it was, but it just kind of went in. It did go out with a huge bang and make a lot of money. But as far as like the actual percentages go, it's really only counting Friday as the real opening day, so none of the box office numbers actually changed. But if you look at Friday's numbers, it's really weird to look at because really two of the movies I was expecting to actually kind of keep going was Captain Marvel and Shazam. And it's really crazy when you look at it because Captain Marvel's been out for quite a while now. And on Friday, the 26th of April, when Endgame officially came out, Captain Marvel shot up by 102.7% of sales. Granted, if it's, they make $1 one day and then 1.2 the other day, there's your 102%. But in this case, it made $1,055 just to add to it. So, I mean, it went up by 102%, good for that movie. Another one that actually really surprised me was Shazam. Shazam went up by a whopping 144.3%. Of course, it only made $422, but like I said in previous videos about Shazam, Shazam was going to do very well up until Endgame came out. And I mean, for the most part, that's what happened. The numbers are dropping. I'm wondering if that correlates with the fact that people were showing up to the theater so early to stand in line that they were just like, let's go watch another superhero movie. Let's go watch Captain Marvel before it comes out. I mean, that part makes sense. Captain Marvel going up by 102%, that makes sense because, you kind of need to watch that to see the end credit scene to go into Endgame. Well, you don't kind of, but I mean, it would make sense. So everyone's saying, oh, you should see Captain Marvel so you know who that character is before you go watch Endgame. It's kind of important to do. Therefore, I can see why that number spiked up because they probably went, saw Captain Marvel, stood in line, went and saw Endgame. And then people that got there really early were just like, might as well go see Shazam as well. Or maybe there's probably that one guy out there that's just like, I don't want Endgame to do good. I'm a DC fan. Let's go put all my money on Shazam. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up at this point. But really, through Friday and Saturday, the numbers seem to be spiking up. And then once Sunday hit, everything took a giant hit. It looked like Shazam ended up dropping by 33% and Captain Marvel dropped by 38%. But even then, like The Curse of La Llorona, Breakthrough, Little, Dumbo, Pet Sematary, Missing Link went down by 4%, but everything else went up by over 100%. 144, 116, 130, 105, 164. Ridiculous. So I guess like Friday, I guess it was just a good Friday to go to the movies apparently. I guess this is all domestic numbers. So domestically, I guess it was just that one good time for the whole family to go out for the movies on that Friday night, and everything profited from it. So I mean, good for them. But I mean, Sunday sales typically don't do very well. If we keep going into the Monday, everything was just drastically dropping. Captain Marvel actually was dropping on that following Monday on the 29th to 68%, then on Tuesday went up to 19%. So I don't know how these box office numbers are fluctuating this much, but it's really interesting and really cool to read into, actually. I'm kind of intrigued by all of these numbers, but a lot of them are dropping. And then again on the Tuesday, a lot of them shot back up. Shazam went up by 68%. One of the more sad things about it, though, is when you look at it, since Avengers Endgame made so much money on its opening night, it's only going to go down in percentages because it just physically cannot make that amount of money every day. Therefore, it's just going to keep dropping and dropping and dropping. It went from $7,900 on the 29th, and then going into 30th, it dropped $800, and then it dropped $2,000 the following day, and then $1,000 the following day. So the numbers are going to drop, but I mean, it's still making money and in a ridiculous amounts. Obviously, it's sitting at 2.188 right now. I'm thinking by Monday, because the numbers aren't updated yet, so by the end of Monday, I think it's going to be at 2.23. That's my prediction for that. And I'm thinking if it keeps going strong, it's going to beat out Avatar in the following week. So on after Mother's Day, so on Monday the 13th, it's going to be making 2.8. That's my prediction there. So 2.8, give or take, maybe a little under, maybe a little over that. But I think it's going to take its third lap around the box office this weekend and top Avatar for that #1 spot. And everyone's going to be talking about inflation and whatnot, but I mean, hey, the numbers are there. That's what we're looking at. So one of the theories, or more so just ideas I have, is that I'm wondering if this week goes through and it does boost up and it does make the money to beat Avatar out and becomes the #1 highest grossing film in the world of all time, I'm wondering if that's going to make more people go and see it to just add to the numbers. Because I know I've got some friends that have already seen it 4 or 5 times because, they're wanting to contribute to the box office. They're wanting to show their love and support for the film that they've seen. And I'm wondering if, if it's getting close, if it's going to keep going, if more people are going to be like, come on, we got to go see it. It's so close to beating Avatar. Let's go see this movie. Or even afterwards, just like, come on, let's just keep getting it higher and higher and higher. This could potentially be the first film in history to hit $3 billion at the box office. I'd be happy with it. I think it's a well-deserved film to get up there. It's had a lot of hype. It had 11 perfect, okay, not perfect, whoa, but it's had 11 really strong years of movies behind it leading up to this final point. So, I mean, sure, as a standalone film with like no backstory and no knowledge of it, Avatar is probably one of the greatest films of all time because no one knew anything about it and it was able to just go shoot and then go back into theaters a year later and still end up making almost $3 billion. So for that, I will applaud it. The story is still crap, but you roll it back and you look at everything that's been leading up to Avengers Endgame, it would make sense for this movie to hit $3 billion because it's just been on a perfect roll from the beginning. And it's just throughout the whole thing, it's just crazy to see all of these films come together, this entire 22 film cycle, to see this final adaptation of this phase going into the next one. It's a perfect way to say, we rounded out the Infinity Saga, let this last film hit $3 billion and be the highest grossing film of all time. It's just kind of like a poetic justice thing, I think, and I think it'd be fantastic. And of course, I'm going to try to keep you guys updated with these numbers as they develop, because I've been checking the box office constantly. I'm always like refreshing the timelines and trying to see like when the earliest article is, if it's like from 7 hours ago or 2 hours ago, just trying to see like what the most updated number is, because I'm seeing so many sporadic numbers and no one really wants to give me just a solid, here is the domestic number, here is the global number. So I'm going to try to keep on top of that for you guys and make sure you guys know. I've been away for a little bit, I'm wrapping into finals week of my semester right now, so uploads are going to be a little sporadic. If everything goes as planned, I think I'm going to upload this early tomorrow morning. We are supposed to be getting a trailer tomorrow for Spider-Man Far From Home. That is a supposed rumor. If that's the case, around 2 o'clock-ish, you'll be getting a reaction video from me on that one, so be ready for that. But other than that, we're just going to keep playing around and see what comes out this week. I'm going to keep these box office numbers updated. We're going to go into some more talk and all that. I'm going to get back to my regular scheduled uploads because, let's face it, I need to get back to it. It's been a minute. But that's going to be all for this video, guys. Remember, if you like what you saw, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see more box office numbers or if you'd like to see anything else. But until then, and as always, I will see you guys next time.